Say hello to Henry Cole and Sam Lovegrove, two best mates who are motor maniacs.
It is lacking a steering wheel.
This is it.
What?
Henry's a hustler who loves a deal.
That's fantastic!
And he's got an eye for a bargain.
Very trendy.
And Sam's a mechanical genius
Smiling and smiling.
who's never seen a vehicle he can't fix.
Oh, mate! Let's do it!
Together, they're touring the country, searching out vintage classics to buy and restore.
Oh, God, blimey, that's lovely.
And once they've got their new wheels back on the road, they'll be taking them on a series of iconic challenges that puts each of the vehicles to the ultimate test.
We have made the ascent. It's like touching the void.
Today, Henry and Sam are looking for a quintessential 1970s bike to restore and take to one of the biggest classic vehicle shows in the country. Welcome to Find It, Fix It, Drive It. Over the last 15 years, the custom motorcycle scene has had a transformation. Anyone with an angle grinder, an imagination and a shed can be part of it, transforming boring old commuter bikes into seriously cool new wave customs. You can knock up a bobber, a brat style or a blimey, what's that? But Henry reckons it's time for a change. It's time to bring back the 70s chopper. All Henry has to do is convince Sam it's a great idea.
All right.
Hello.
I brought you tea, herbal.
You're quiet. What do you want?
Now, look, right, I know you're not going to be into it, all right? But I want to buy a chopper, an Uncle Bunt chopper. Uncle Bunt, you know who he was?
British chopper.
They are going to be the future of cutting-edge cool. Forget your brat styles, forget your calf racer. Am I selling this? Forget your scrambler, urban and that. I tell you, the future now is, I'm the only person who reckons it, probably, 70s choppers.
You're the only person who's top of the game right now. Are you pioneering?
I am a pioneer, and I'm inviting you to join me.
Immortalised by the movie Easy Rider, the 70s chops were synonymous with a rebel counterculture. The signature look was a raked-out front end and a sissy bar on the back for anyone who was crazy enough to ride pillion. One of the greatest designers of the era was an Englishman called John Reed, aka Uncle Bunt. His bikes are seriously rare now, but Henry has found one in a shed up north.
You like Miles, don't you, Miles Robinson? We bought lovely little trinkets from his shed before.
Yeah.
That's where it is.
So there's a possibility I might be able to talk things around and we might come away with a vintage race in Norton instead.
If that's going to get you to Preston... Come on, mate, drink your tea, let's get on with it. Oh, hang on. Come on.
So Henry and Sam are on their way to Preston to try to do a deal on the Uncle Bunt that Henry's found.
So by my calculation, we'll be there in about 3 days.
Just under.
Henry's got 180 miles to turn Sam onto his 1970s chopper dream.
I know initially you're not that excited, right? But I have to tell you, man, it's an opportunity for me at least that we can't pass up, and I appreciate you coming, Nick.
That's all right. It's not that difficult for me to linger around in there for a day.
Whether Miles can be sweet-talked into selling his Uncle Bunt remains to be seen. It's taken 5 hours and 23 minutes, but at last it's Preston.
Miles?
Henry, how are we doing? Good to see you again.
So lovely
Sam,
to see you.
All right.
how's things?
Yeah, very good.
You know what? He is actually behaving himself. I'm trying to introduce him to the kind of vibe of an Uncle Bunt. Are you there or not?
I'm here.
That's the best we can get. There have been moments where I didn't think he'd join me in the Land Rover.
Does he get it?
No, I don't think he does.
No.
I think he just wants to look in your shed, mate.
I think he probably does.
Now, look, right, tell me about your Bunt.
Right, the reason that I called you,
Yeah,
I bought this Bunt a year ago, maybe a bit longer,
yeah.
and I just haven't got round to doing it. And I thought, that has got Henry's name all over it. It's in there, boys. Go and have a look.
Let me shake you by the hand, mate.
OK?
Miles, brilliant.
Enjoy.
All right. OK, come on then.
all
I'll
right.
see you in a bit.
All right.
I feel as though I'm in Arizona.
Miles has two loves, Norton motorcycles and Americana. His first shed is more Preston, Wisconsin than Preston, Lancashire. Gorgeous American pickups and classic American bikes. But lurking in the corner, the reason they've driven all the way to a shed in Preston.
Yep, there it is.
Oh, come on, man, look at it.
Hidden away in Miles' shed, unloved and feeling rather sorry for itself, an Uncle Bunt, looking like it might have breathed its very last gasp.
I mean, it's seen better days.
Like before it was chopped.
It wasn't chopped, because it is a chopper with an Uncle Bunt created frame. Look at that, mate. UB blah, 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 H.
Oh, yeah.
Uncle Bunt frame.
You seem excited.
I am incredibly excited. Why aren't you?
OK, the serial number proves it's an original Uncle Bunt frame. But what about the rest of the bike? Is that 1970s vintage? Let the autopsy begin.
That tank doesn't look original. Now, our uncle, right, he had the idea of having this kind of tombstone kind of tank.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
remember those, yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
It needs a side stand, obviously.
I don't just need a pub wall, a low one.
I can feel me trousers creaking. That's
Yeah.
got to be good.
Actually, seeing you sat on it has made me realise one thing.
What?
Hippies did ride these.
Man, they did. And you could get into this.
I need to let my freak flag fly.
So, Sam's warming to the Bunt.
The chink in the armour is, hippies rode them. Those are his words, not mine. Are we winning? We may be.
And now for the negotiation.
How much do you want for said motorcycle?
I think it's worth £3,000, Henry.
I think there's a huge amount of work here. Can I lowball you? 2, 3.
That's not a low ball. 500 quid.
Which bit do you want? 2,750. That's it.
I'll do a deal.
Go on.
2.5, and you'll let us have a rummage around this shed and your other one.
2.5, and when it's done, you both ride it to the pub.
I see no problem with that.
Hey, that's fantastic!
There you go.
You see, I'll tell you, mate, easy rider.
It'll be
Nice.
really good to see it done, boys.
Mate, it's going to be done.
So the Bunt's in the bag, but it costs £2.5 grand, and it's going to need a lot more money spent on it before it's done. As for the rest of this shed, the good are gorgeous.
It's a 32 Model B 5-window coupe with about a 4.5-inch roof chop.
But they're not going to come cheap.
There's just something about a Harley of this age that I love, probably about 16 grand.
Yeah, probably.
Come on then, let's go and have a look at his other shed.
Yeah.
Come on. Do you know what? I feel as though I can relax now. Because I've got my bunty.
Miles' other love is Norton and vintage, and he has one of the finest collections of Norton motorbikes in the UK.
Heaven.
This is why Sam was dragged all the way up to Preston. He immediately makes a beeline for the collection of classic bikes, and he's not thinking budget. A Manx Norton, price tag 30 grand.
The head is alloy,
Yeah.
barrel's alloy, magnesium cases, magnesium bevel box.
A featherbed Norton, price tag 16 grand.
So it's basically the road-going Manx engine, but in the featherbed rolling chassis.
And a rare de Dion car from the turn of the century.
It is lacking a steering wheel.
This is it.
What?
Yeah,
Is that it?
yeah.
Henry, on the other hand, knows that sometimes you've got to think small.
Would you take a look at that as a little accoutrement?
Hey, that's nice.
I mean, this is the kind of trinkets we're after, and it's festooned in them.
Within a few minutes, Henry has a whole pile of rusty goodies to bid on.
I know what that is.
Go on.
That's your
Mate.
petrol can,
Yeah?
and that's your 2-pint pot for
Yeah.
engine oil.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's mint.
Let's bring back Miles for a second haggle.
First up, small can.
With the oil in,
Yeah.
it's very rare.
I know.
I don't really want to part with it, Henry.
Please.
It'd have to be £130.
It was 3 shillings. What's that? 15p. Look, price is on it. 3 shillings, 15p.
Right, if you find any more at 3 shillings,
Yeah, God.
you know where I am.
100 quid.
Go on.
Good lad.
Only because it's you.
The Drydex display?
50 quid.
Oh, no. 75 quid, shake my hand, otherwise it's not for sale.
Well done, mate. It's going rather well. Hey, now look, just to make up to £100, I'll give you 25 for that.
Really?
Good lad. That's easy.
Can't be
That's
bad, can
lovely,
it?
isn't
Not
it?
a bad day.
Plus a
Thanks very much.
chopper.
Thanks for your input.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Mate, great.
What a great day.
I better get to the van again and get my checkbook.
Don't forget to pay.
So, a good day in Preston, but coming up, the hard work begins. The Uncle Bunt needs a complete makeover. And Henry and Sam have a huge job on their hands to restore it to full exhibition quality in time for the UK's most prestigious classic car and bike show. Bike restorer Henry has found this Uncle Bunt quintessential 1970s chopper up in Preston. It's as rare as hen's teeth. He's sure it's a genuine Bunt frame, but what about the rest of the bike?
Hey, now look, we're starting the process of doing some research on the Uncle Bunt, and Roger and Morris are coming to have a look at the bike. Let's hope they can start proceedings. Good to see you, Roger, Morris.
These guys worked with Uncle Bunt creator John Reed back in the 70s and 80s. And with John now being a bit of a recluse in LA, they're Henry's main hope for checking if this is a genuine Bunt.
I would say 100%. The frame is original, but the front and the rear wheels possibly have been replaced.
And what about the petrol tank?
I wouldn't say it was original with the frame, no.
And the seat?
Morris, come on, show your colours, tell me what you reckon.
I think that's an original seat.
Henry's now more confident about the frame as an original, and therefore the Triumph engine it was designed to support. It means that the fake fuel tank, wheels and other accessories will have to go. Time to break the news to Sam.
Now, look, right, mate, I'm getting more excited by the day. Now, when Rog was saying that not a lot of it was original, apart from really the frame and the engine,
Yep.
I just thought to myself, oh, that's a nightmare. But actually, what we've got is an original Bunt frame, right, with the original lump in it, potentially the seat, but I'm going to disregard that as original.
Don't
right?
like that.
It's horrible. But what we have now is bringing his ideas right up to date. Let's do a blank canvas.
Yeah, right.
Let's celebrate the man by restoring the frame and then do what we want, right? Now, the concept is, it's just as an idea of minimalism.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that looks clean.
Cluttery gone,
Yeah.
replace the forks, deal with everything, restore the frame, new paint job, new tank. But there is a mega reason why I want to do this and why I've been obsessed by Uncle Bunt.
What's that?
Guy! Skid!
Meet Guy, who works with Henry on restoring bikes, otherwise known as Skid.
Go on your love of Uncle Bunt.
Well, I just think he is the best, he is the guru for this kind of bike, and he started it for me. He was a rebel.
He was a rebel,
He
wasn't he?
was, and he built things like this. Say no more.
The first thing for Henry and Sam to do is start stripping the Bunt down to its frame. Apart from the Triumph engine, which will need taking apart, and the frame itself, literally every major component will be replaced. This is going to be an epic makeover. Off comes the chain,
One chain.
the sissy bar,
Now that will be retained.
and the handmade seat.
This monstrosity's coming off.
I like this seat.
I know you do.
The
Look,
seat should smell of patchouli oil. Anything leather back in the day smelt of patchouli oil.
To complement the original engine, Guy has found a Triumph rear wheel that will help that achingly cool, all-British look.
that is a beautiful Triumph conical hub, right? Now, if this goes in, then it's quintessentially Triumph.
Looks lovely as well, doesn't it? It's really in keeping with the bike. Onwards and upwards.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Guy takes the new rear wheel for a good clean-up as the boys are left to continue the strip.
I've got this exhaust off. Here we go.
Off comes the petrol tank,
There you go. Clear.
Tank off.
the electrical coil,
That's the coil off.
and the foot peg assembly.
She is becoming more and more naked by the moment.
In the space of 4 hours, the Uncle Bunt has gone from a complete bike to a pile of parts. While all this has been going on, Henry has been writing to John Reed, Uncle Bunt himself, to confirm that this is a true Bunt frame. After weeks of trying, he's got a response from the man.
Hey, Samuel! I have an email from the icon that is John Reed down in California. Dear Henry, we built a lot of these frames. Can you just check with the frame number, UB? Yeah. He used SIF bronze brazing.
That's SIF bronze.
This means the frame of your bike was made at my shop in about 1979.
Oh, great. So we've got a date on it.
Yeah, so it was a frame that was made in his shop. He may not have constructed it himself. But look, the bottom line is, mate, we can do what we want with it, and that's got to be good, because it is the true homage to the great Uncle Bunt, John Reed Massive. Right,
great.
OK, I'm going to start proceedings. We'll see you later, mate.
See ya.
It's now time for the newly verified frame to go up to Rob, the front fork builder in Derby. He'll use it as a guide for a slick new Springer front end for the bike. Henry's also taken the old front forks to show what he doesn't want.
So I've come up here to Derby to see my mate Rob to get the front forks sorted. There's something kind of innately stupid about me doing this, isn't there? All right.
Rob Wood is one of the leading custom bike and most importantly fork builders in the UK. He's going to manufacture a whole new front end from Henry's design ideas.
Rob?
Oh, yes.
I think I'm stuck, mate.
Henry's already had the frame delivered, but getting the old front forks in is not so easy.
Right, OK, I've got it now, mate.
It's all chargeable.
God, you came to my rescue. I was pushing it quite
you go.
nicely.
Yeah.
Where shall I go? Oh, over
Through here, mate, yeah.
Now, look, right.
Whoa.
Don't worry, it's not a court order.
I was going to say, I didn't do that. No idea with that,
Now,
mate.
look, OK, those I know are glorious,
Yeah.
but it needs to be long, thin...
We all need that.
...and glamorous, unlike me and you.
Henry has a very specific vision for the Bunt's new front end. Fat forks are out, thin forks are in.
So we want delicate, feminine,
Yeah,
slim,
yeah, rounded.
70s, curvaceous.
Yes, you've got it.
No more disc brakes and ugly front wheel.
I'm just going on what I think
That's it,
you
that's it.
need. So that's like a replica.
That looks like a replica Tiger Cub.
Tiger Cub, yeah.
No more anonymous handlebars.
We're definitely not going to go like that.
No,
So
not 8, no.
No, so it's going to go like that,
Yeah.
but it just depends whether it's like that or like that.
Or tucked in.
So, long slender forks, a skinny front wheel and to complete the look, a set of rabbit ear handlebars, all of which Rob will create from scratch.
How long do you reckon you need?
Let me lean on here like they do.
OK,
at
you
this
lean.
point. I'll lean like that.
It's
I
always
lean.
the same, right, with builders. OK. You say how long, and then what you do the minute he stopped kerfuffulating, double it.
It's this, that. How long have we got? I know what you're saying. Yeah.
A couple of weeks? Really?
Yeah, we can do it.
So the Uncle Bunt front end is going to get a complete makeover.
2 weeks, was it?
2, well, yeah, sort of. Did we say 2?
That'll be 3.
It's time to find out how the rare and original Uncle Bunt frame has weathered the passage of time since being created in John Reed's workshop 40 years ago. So Henry's taking it to be shop blasted in Banbury. Daz and his crew are used to working with rare and classic vehicles, but restoration is always a risky business.
Now, look, right, I've never been nervous coming to you lot, but I am today. Because this is an Uncle Bunt frame from the 70s. Right. It's covered in filler to give it that smooth 70s look. But Sean, I just worried what's underneath.
It's quite thick.
My future is in your hands, son.
It might take a while, though, because we've got to get alarming off.
Yeah, all right, you do decent tea.
Henry is worried that underneath the filler, the frame will have been damaged or worn, so this could be make or break. Away from the action, Henry is on edge like a first-time dad in a maternity ward.
Well, this is it, right? If we get a result here with Sean, we're going to be fine. But Lord knows what is underneath that filler. If it's awful, we've then got to think again. But I guess I've got no alternative. But I'm really nervous.
5 minutes later, it's all done, not like on a maternity ward.
I think he's ready, Henry. I'm not. You're not? I'm nervous. We're going to have a look? Come on. Come on. Put a bow on, it's all right? Come on, come on, come on. Come on. Oh. Oh, sure. Now then. Mate, it's all right, isn't it? Yeah. Hey? God, it is. It's like it's been preserved. It's like it's been fossilised under all that filler, hey?
Until the paint came off, there was no way to see the bronze welds properly, but now they've been revealed in all their glory.
All those worries you had, and the filler's definitely protected it all. It has, hasn't hardly any scar and there's no corrosion at all. I'll tell you what, that John Reed, he could braze, couldn't he? He made a lovely job of that. Wow, that's beautiful. Boys, oh, you saved my life. Yeah, it's really good. Well in fact, more than you made my day, mate, or even week. Thank you so much. Beautiful thing. Oh, yes.
Coming up, with the Bunt frame stripped and sorted, the restoration can proceed full steam ahead.
Candy apple red metallic kind of heavy flake is what I love.
And Henry plans the kind of colour scheme that requires specialist eyewear.
On?
Yeah.
Now we're prepared.
Henry believes 1970s choppers are going to make a comeback, and he and Sam have found an iconic Uncle Bunt frame chopper in a shed in Preston. They plan to show the bike at one of the country's biggest classic vehicle events at the NEC in Birmingham. The original frame has been shot blasted and is ready for painting, and back up in Derby, Rob is close to completing the final assembly of the Springer front end. Henry wants a very narrow look for the Bunt and has spec'd 25mm rear forks and just 19mm in front. The thinnest Rob is prepared to go to give that cool, hip, slimline vibe. He's also created some rabbit ear handlebars to complement the narrow look.
Which I think turned out really, really well. Put them on the top yoke already. So, here we are. Very, very briefly. This has been finally polished. All the welding's been done. So the only thing we need to do with this to get it ready, make sure it's nice and central, and then we're all done, we're good to go. And then it gets put on the bike and looks lovely, lovely, lovely.
He's fashioned all the parts from steel in his workshop and is now ready for the final assembly of his work of art. The rabbit ear handlebars are on, and with the drum brake also in place, his work is done.
One set of 70s style springers. Let's hope he likes them.
Back at Henry's workshop, Sam is getting ready to offer up the Springer front end for a dry build to help gauge the stance of the Uncle Bunt.
Here you go, mate. Hey? What do you reckon, mate?
Are they long enough?
That is an 8/over front end.
Which means they're 8 inches longer than the standard length forks.
There we go, lovely.
So time now to put them on and then see what the stance is like.
What do you reckon? Hey?
Yeah, that's great. If it's going to be crazy,
It's gotta be crazy.
Crazy.
But Henry has another surprise.
Coffin tank, anyone? What do you reckon?
No.
Here, look, man, let's just slip it on here. Now, this has been fabbed by me mate Graham down in Cornwall.
That's
near
brand
where
new.
you live.
They're either really behind with the times or really ahead of themselves.
Mate, they are ahead. Even the dog likes it, look.
But with the tank and Springer front end in place, it's time to get the ultimate seal of approval from authentic 70s wild child skid.
Hey, so look, right? That is radical. I mean, this is an Uncle Bunt homage. We're just ahead of the curve, mate, bringing back the 70s radical chop, man. No one thinks that, but I know up here. You wait. Hey, and that is quintessentially 70s rad. Right, OK, ladies and gentlemen, tea? Tea?
Yes.
Tea? Come on, then. Well done, boys. Hey, where's that dog?
With the Bunt at last beginning to take shape, work is going ahead on some of the other main repairs and additions. The restoration team's Alan Millyard is giving the Triumph T140 engine a refurb. It's the only other original piece of the Bunt that Henry and Sam are keeping. And what Alan is really worried about is water getting into the engine and causing damage to all the components.
Now, when we look underneath, we'll see if it's got rusty valves or it's oily and clean. And yeah, as I first thought, rust all around the valve seats, on both cylinders, and quite a lot of corrosion in here from the dampness that's got in through the engine where it's been stored.
But he's pretty sure the engine's in relatively good nick, with not too many miles on the clock.
The boards look brand new. You can still see the honing marks at the bottom.
And so as Alan gets on with his work, Henry's now found time to look at the extra items he bought in Miles' shed in Preston. The smaller old can has been added to his collection at the workshop, and he's now working on the Drydex vintage display battery unit.
We just get rid of the spiders and all other friends.
These sort of display units adorned shops up and down the country in the 20s and 30s, and you could also test your batteries on them. And Henry's hoping this one will clean up nicely.
And that is a beautiful thing, in my view, to put in your man cave. Not to put in the kitchen with spices in it. That would be a terrible, terrible no-no.
With the unit cleaned up, all that's left is to make sure the light assembly is working.
Yay, look at that! How fantastic, it works! So we'll sort this out with a proper little battery with a switch, and it'll give a little bit of lovely illumination. Chuff with that, man.
With one job done, Henry moves on to his next task, and so he's off to the Cotswolds.
I thought we'd take a break in proceedings of the restoration to go and check out just a little bit more history of my petrol can, my duo can. That's what they're called, oil and petrol together. Just down the way is a beautiful automotive museum in Bourton-on-the-Water, and Michael there knows a thing or two about cans.
In fact, Michael curates one of the biggest collections of cans in the country, so if he doesn't know about the duo can, no one will.
These are very rare. These are the ones that the collectors want and can't find.
Can you date these in any way?
That's an 11 there and a 31 there.
No.
So November 1931. A good one of these would be about £1,000.
Yep, that's £1,000 for a rusty old can, which he'll add to his own collection back at the workshop. So it's been a good day's work for Henry so far, but back to the Bunt, and a rusty old relic is the last thing on his mind. He's off to see Tom Fuller to discuss his plans for a striking paint job on the frame, mudguard and petrol tank.
So do you want the base colour to be red?
Candy apple red metallic kind of heavy flake is what I love.
But we are going to introduce a lot more colours as well. But base colour, red, candy apple flake.
Tom might sound wary, but the colour palette is decided. It's going to be an intricate design process, so Henry and Sam will just have to wait for now. Meanwhile, Alan Millyard has been hitting it hard on the engine, and it's all but done. He's set his mind to a little bling of his own.
Right, that's our base diameter machine, nice and smooth.
He's decided to handcraft the grips and foot pegs on the bike from brass with a diamond pattern effect.
Right, if you have a quick look, you can see the diamonds appearing now.
He cuts and grooves the brass tubes on his lathe, and this is the finished article.
There we go, that's 3 more to make now, but I've also decided to make some really bling handlebar grips, exactly like this, with this diamond cut. Maybe slightly coarser so it doesn't grip your hand so tight, but that should really set off the bike, I think. Quite pleased with that.
So, with Alan bringing the bling, Tom Fuller is going to have a lot to live up to with the paint job on the frame, mudguard and coffin-shaped tank.
All right.
It's been a long and intricate challenge for Tom and his team.
Very intricate.
But is now nearly complete. Henry has chosen candy apple red flake as the dominant colour, but Tom is also adding an intricate patterned overlay to the design.
We're going to paint the black on, which is going to be our outline, and then we're going to mask off the gold and the black, and then we can put the background on behind it.
A golden glitter base is sprayed on first, and then once it's dried, the patterns and full colour scheme are gradually added. Tom starts to peel away the stencils to reveal the designs Henry had in mind. And as the red is added to the mix, the final look begins to take shape.
Now it's time for the reveal. Let's see how it looks.
This is the moment when Tom finds out if his design has worked or if it's back to the drawing board.
It's really bright in the middle, and you've got these colours here. So when that gets lacquered, it's really going to pop out. It's going to be amazing.
The prep and design process has taken nearly 4 weeks, but it's now finished.
Today is an incredible day, Sam.
Sunny.
Because we waited for a month. I mean, it's been a month, hasn't it? Tom and Mandy have been doing the paint. We're about to rebuild now, man. I have seen this frame. You haven't. So consequently, you might need them.
Some eye protection.
Hang on, mate. I'm just going to get... Oh, there you go. What do you reckon? Can I get these over there like that?
Designated requirement.
On?
Yeah.
Now we're prepared. Now, mate, right, it's under a cloth, like the best things in life. Are you ready?
Yeah, ever ready.
Because I just want to get this done.
Yeah.
All right, because I tell you what, mate, you have seen nothing like this ever. Are you preparing yourself?
Yeah.
Here we go. Peely, peely. What? Oh, don't take your glasses off, mate. You'll have to stand back.
Retina issues. That's amazing. Judy Garland slippers.
If you want candy apple red metallic, I don't think that's surpassable.
I think it's amazing. It's this beautiful, what would we call it, filigree, really, isn't it?
I think it is filigree. What we've set out to do with this is to create a modern take on an Uncle Bunt chopper. And this as the basis is something I think now unbelievable. But what is the major... Don't touch it like that, just in case. Okay, what is the problem here?
We've got to put it together without chipping it, scratching it, marking it.
How the hell do we do that? Once we get this right and put it back together without scratching it, we will be in clover.
Is it going to ride nice?
There's only one way to find out, mate, and build it. Mm-hmm.
And the first stage in rebuilding the Bunt means attaching the Triumph engine Alan Millyard has been able to restore to mint condition.
Okay, you comfy? Hang on.
But it weighs over 100 pounds, so it won't be easy to manoeuvre into place without scratching the frame.
Right. Now, what are we doing first?
No, slot the back in first.
Yeah, I think we go over mind the head.
I'm minding the head. Okay, what's happened?
Watch your hands, Sammy.
I think
Let's come out a minute.
Okay, we're coming out, we're coming out.
Put it down on the bench here.
Okay, we're putting it down on the bench.
So I
got it.
First try, first fail. The paint job is just too good to risk any mistakes at this stage.
All right, so get this side in first. Now we can go down a bit. Watch the rocker box.
Watch it there, It's going, that's it.
Yep. We're very close. That's it. Okay, let me get a bolt in.
Right, that's one.
Don't let go of this.
I'm not letting go.
Don't drop it down.
I'm not letting anything go.
Are we in?
All right, we're in.
Oh, yeah.
Can I let go?
Are we in?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sure?
Yep.
Yeah, sure?
Yeah.
We haven't scratched anything, have we?
No.
Have we? No, not really. Already, it's getting that 70s vibe to it. Just by dropping that lump in, right, it suddenly becomes the period that it's designed for.
No scratches to the frame yet. Next up, though, Henry fetches the new and long front forks, so they've still got to be a bit careful.
Wow.
You're facing the wrong way.
Yeah, no, I know that.
That is a seriously long front end. I reckon this is the midpoint of the motorcycle, I reckon.
Do you reckon? Right, come on then, I'm not lifting this up on my own.
Why?
Now, if you scratch this paint, son.
You're at the scratchy end.
Am I?
Yeah.
No, please, don't get brutal.
Why would I get brutal?
Because you do.
So the forks are in.
Oh, mate. Now then, I need to just give you something glorious.
And what do you give the 1970s chopper that has it all? Well, you give it brass diamond pattern grips, of course.
The Millyard has created some incredible grips, don't you reckon?
They are nice, yeah.
The detail's beautiful. Once I put a little bit of metal polish on them and polish them crazy, they are going to look gorgeous.
But it's not going to go very far without one key part.
Rear wheel coming in. OK, mate, I'm coming in like that.
Don't go in any further because you'll scratch the paint.
I'm not scratching any paint at all, son. Oh, my gosh.
Now we're getting
Mate, what have we built?
Now we've got the measure of it.
Next on, it's some more candy apple red flake.
Look at that for a look, God.
Hey, and it just slips on, sort of there-ish, doesn't it? Hey, yes. Don't scratch anything.
It's like that, isn't it? Oh, look at that.
And then the crowning glory, the coffin tank.
That's stunning, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
There's more bling with Alan's brass pegs on the foot controls. And finally, Sam and Henry have ditched the old King and Queen pillion seat and replaced it with a brand new hand-sewn 70s style single-seat gem.
That's very in keeping with the bike, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Man, I think this is utterly, utterly glorious.
With the chrome cocktail shaker exhausts attached, the epic Uncle Bunt makeover is complete.
Feast your eyes, man. I mean, if old Uncle Bunt don't want this, do you know what I mean? I mean, that is the most ultimate homage I think you could pay the genius, you know? I've got to tell you, boys, the 70s chopper is back.
Coming up, it's time for Henry to take his stunning Uncle Bunt restoration on the road.
Oh, man, did you feel like Dennis Hopper?
And to see what the judges think at one of the UK's biggest car and bike shows. After 4 months of ground-up restoration, this unloved and misunderstood Uncle Bunt chop has had a complete transformation.
Here we go.
Rob's new fork, Tom's new paint and Jess's new seat
Don't scratch anything.
It's like that.
come together to make Henry's dream a candy apple red flake reality.
It looked sick as a pig. It was really rough, and that looks fantastic. I didn't for 1 minute think you were going to push the boat out this far.
I just thought, if we're going to do it, if we're actually going to save a bunt, we had to do it properly.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. Boys, thank you so much, man. Everyone who's worked on it, what a joy that thing is to look at. To ride, on the other hand, maybe...
OK, it's not quite Louisiana Highway 1 riding down to New Orleans. It's more the B445 to Lechlade in Oxfordshire. But it's still Henry and Sam's tribute to Easy Rider, and the chop is something to behold. The look is complete, and much as Henry was worried about the handling, the Bunt rides like a dream. Months of shed dwelling have paid off. The Bunt rides again in all its 70s glory, and it seems Henry and Sam are more than chuffed with their work.
Hey! That was great! Oh man, did you feel like Dennis Hopper?
I'm not having him.
I'll tell you what, man, that terrifies you the first time you actually ride it.
It looked fine.
But then things suddenly come into focus. Now just wait there.
Yeah.
Okay, just hang on. Now look, right. I had a little message from our John Reed, and Reed comes back, Uncle Bunt, with, it came out pretty good, Henry. Very clean and professional. Cheers, John.
It's the seal of approval.
I think that is the seal of approval. So now look, right, we proved it rides. We proved that John Reed loves it. All we've got to know now is, do the public, I'm going to find us a little show. I don't think we should dress like this though, mate.
Oh, please.
No, we might get arrested.
This is war. I'm getting into it.
I'll tell you what, I'm quite cold. Should we have some tea?
Yeah.
The Classic Motor Show at the NEC in Birmingham is the finale of the British motoring season, showcasing over 2,500 classic and vintage vehicles from all over the country and beyond. It's restoration mecca. The very best in the UK are all here. Henry has entered the Bunt in the classic bike competition, but he's finding it hard to keep Sam's mind on the task in hand. They're surrounded by glorious vintage bikes and not customs. In fact, the Bunt is the only custom here, so that could be very good or very bad.
There it is, look, here it is, here it is.
How do you know it's ours?
What, how do you, what?
The Bunt will be up against classic Manx Nortons, BSAs, vintage Enfields, you name it. And out of the hundreds of bikes here, only 3 will be called up on stage.
I've got to tell you, Henry Cole and Sam Lovegrove's the Uncle Bunt Triumph Custom Chopper. You couldn't say fairer than that, son, could you? I tell you what, mate.
Sparkly pizzazz.
Wow. Now, tell me, will it have competition, do you think, or do you think it's in a kind of sort of class of its own?
One thing I do like, there is a serious amount of variation in this hall, and we've just helped that along.
The chances of us winning anything are relatively small. You do understand that?
I think I've worked that out, yeah. I don't know why, but I did have the feeling that we were going to a custom bike show. Seems a little odd that we didn't.
Can I just apologise? I may have read things slightly wrong.
You didn't read it, did you?
No.
All the team are here to bask in the potential victory. Rob the Forkman, Tom the Painter...
I just want to thank you so much, mate.
...and everything man Alan Millyard. Even Miles, the original owner, has turned up to see what happened to his unloved Uncle Bunt.
Is it the same bike?
Yeah.
I think that is straight out of the 70s, isn't it? It's a foot wide, looks about 10 foot long, and looks like quite a thing to handle. Typical 70s chopper. It looks fantastic, it really does. The paint job is absolutely unbelievable. It is really nice.
It's not a nuts and bolts restoration of an Uncle Bunt, is it? Because it's kept the spirit alive. It's cool. Cool never goes out of fashion, does it?
So the team is impressed, but Henry is yet to be convinced.
Do you know, I really think actually bringing the chop here, well, it's kind of like bringing Mark Boland to a village cricket match, you know. I just don't think it would fit in properly, but at the same time, who knows what could happen?
For now, though, all Henry and Sam can do is wait.
I mean, you can't knock this paint, can you? No, well, it's not long to go.
As the panel of judges do their work, Andrea is going to come over to the lucky 3 owners at 2:30 to tell them who's going up on stage.
So why is everyone so relaxed? We've got a minute to go.
But will Henry's custom bike dream come true?
Hiya.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yeah, well, I'm a bit nervous.
Oh, yeah?
For the Bunt and the team that built it, it's the moment of truth.
At 2:30, we'd like you to take the bike to the stage. You've been our top 3.
What?
You're in the top 3.
Oh, wow.
So on stage at 2:45, we'll announce who's won.
Can I?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, Andrea, thank you so much. I'm just going to go down the line now. Thank you very much. OK, we're nearly there.
It's an amazing feat to be selected in the top 3 and going for the main prize in the biggest classic vehicle event of the year.
It's all going remarkably well. I'm getting really nervous now. I know, mate, but I'm just nervous generally. I'm just so pleased we've been picked to have a prize.
Henry is now guaranteed an award, but with a mint condition Norton and BSA in the final with the Bunt, will it be first, second or third?
Now look, mate, we've got tough competition. That Norton's lovely.
That's beautiful.
That BSA is absolutely lovely, that Goldie. I tell you, if I come third, I'm over the moon. Over the moon. I never thought I'd get nervous.
It's a tense moment, but also a proud moment for Henry and his team.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter to me who wins, right? There are 3 gorgeous machines, all very different, mate, and we are one of those. And that, to me, is something very special.
And as the team watches from the side of the stage, the announcements begin.
With the BSA Rocket Gold Star is Steve Taylor!
Hey!
Fantastic.
Third place goes to the BSA Gold Star.
That means
We're second.
Means we're second. We're second. Or we could be first.
In second place is Americana and Sandblasting.
Yay! That's great! Thank you so much! That's great!
Amazing.
Thank you, Andrea. Cheers, Mike. Thank you so much, man. Look at that! Second, hey? Second. We love that. I've always preferred second to first.
With Henry's Bunt second in the biggest classic vehicle event in the country, the first prize went to Len Francis and his 1950s Norton.
I'll tell you what's so amazing about this, and that is that whatever you're doing in a shed, if you have that commitment, like the guys here and Lenny's one, it's what it's all about. We're all just a community, right? Building beautiful things for future generations. Ah, come on, son. Hey, yeah. Oh, great, mate. Wow, cool. That's wonderful. Hey, now look, right, seeing on a 70s theme, I just wonder whether you'd like to come back to the shed for a cup of Ovaltine and to listen to my greatest Rubettes hits.
Only if I can have Bovril.
That can be arranged.
From a bike that was out of fashion and out of love to an award-winning 70s chop for the 21st century in just 4 months, this Uncle Bunt framed iconic chopper has been transformed.